Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Sarah. We talk about all things beauty, makeup, skincare here. Today I am doing a quick video on all things drugstore, very affordable makeup, easy look, just to get going for the day. If that sounds good to you, keep watching. It is a very dreary, rainy day here in Illinois, so I'm not really feeling like getting all glam. I put on this fancy top, if you can see. And I just don't feel like creating a crazy makeup look today. I want to do something easy, some staples that I know are gonna look great. So I thought today I would do a full face of affordable drugstore makeup and just like an easy little gold look to match my top. So that is what we're going to do today. I think we should just hop right on into the makeup. So we're gonna start out with primer, and my go-to drugstore primer is e.l.f. I've found quite a few that I like. My two top favorites are the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer and the e.l.f. Blemish Control Face Primer. I believe this one you can only buy online now. I actually purchased it in store and then have repurchased it online, and I believe you can only get this one online now, and you definitely can only get this size online. So if you can tell, I do really like it. I have very sensitive skin, and so a lot of drugstore primers, foundations, things like that don't work for me because they tend to break me out. This one has salicylic acid in it, and because of that, I think that helps me not break out. I also have gigantic pores, so one of the primers that I really enjoy is the Tatcha putty primer. It's not called that. It's like the Tatcha Poreless Face Primer or whatever. I've never owned the big one. I've only ever owned a little mini one, but this one gets you around the same effect for far less cost. So if you can see in here, I have really dug in it. If you can tell, this is very loved. I've used it a lot. I wasn't going to, but I think I'm just gonna use both. You could pick one, you definitely don't need both, but here's how I do it with these two specifically. So I have a little spatula here that I just like to get product out with instead of my fingers. I get a tiny bit on the back of the spatula, and I just kind of put it in my problem pore areas, which are just like everywhere that I would put some concealer. It tends to be where I need help filling in my pores. So then just rub that in. And because that's concentrated in the middle of my face, I do like to take this around the outside of my face just so that I still have some primer there. If I take the putty primer all the way around my face, it feels kind of drying, but this one doesn't. So take a pump here and just spread it around. And that's it for primer. I am going to move on to concealer next, and then my foundation. So concealer that I love, I'm actually opening up a brand new tube as we speak. It's this e.l.f. 16-hour Camo Concealer. If you can tell, I'm going to use a lot of e.l.f. in this video. I really, really enjoy e.l.f. products. I think they do a killer job at quite a few products. This one is one of the best products I think that they make, to be honest. I am in the shade Tan Walnut. I'm not positive that this is my shade. I believe this is my summer shade, but if it's too dark, it's okay. We'll fix it. It's not a big deal. But just a nice clean applicator. So I just put a little bit. I'm toning down my concealer game recently, and I've been doing it before my foundation, so you'll get a little updated, like how much concealer am I using. At least from where I'm sitting, this still looks like a good color match for me, so that's exciting. And then I'm going to be using affordable tools as well. So this is actually a Real Technique sponge, also brand new. Love this brand, love their sponges so much. It's definitely drugstore. All of their brushes are really good as well, but definitely one of my tops. So this is kind of different because one, I was thinking I don't have a drugstore foundation for that works for me. I just truly don't. But I was going to put on foundation. Honestly, this blended out so nice. And it's like so my color that I actually think I'm going to add a couple more dollops of concealer and kind of go without foundation today. I do it occasionally. I'm using cream products too, which also helps. I'm doing more of a natural look anyway. Let's just try it out. Why not? But yeah, just going to go with concealer today, and I'll kind of show you if you don't want to wear a full face, like I just don't really feel like it today, but you still want to look like you put some makeup on, it can be achievable. Luckily, I'm having a kind of good skin week, so that should help out. But really, all I'm going to do is put this like right on my cheeks where I don't want redness to be, and that just ends up being here and here. And then I'll put a little extra around my nose. I tend to get a lot of redness right around my mouth. And then I might bring it up just through here. My forehead doesn't need much, but I'm just gonna put a little bit right on the top of my brows. If you can see that, that is all that I am going to put on, and then blend it out. So that's it all blended out. I'm quite happy with it. I don't want to go overboard, so I'm gonna stop there. So now moving on to bronzer already. I'm gonna actually stick with creams because I think that that's easier to work with when you're not wearing foundation. I was going to use the ColourPop Coconut Beach Pressed Powder Bronzer. That is a great option if you're looking for powders. I personally am going to use the Soul Body Face and Body Bronzing Balm in medium. I did use this in one of my cream products video in the past. This is the color. It's a little deep for me, so I'm just going to be very light-handed with it. This is the only drugstore bronzer that I own. I'm going to count ColourPop in drugstore because it's drugstore prices. It's all affordable. I'm also going to count Morphe and a couple of others. So I'm going to take that on my sponge like this. I took quite a bit, so this might be enough to do my whole face. We will see. So if you, I'm not sure how well it's showing up on camera, but there definitely is, it is a little bit more intense. Because of that, I am going to take the bronzer down the sides of my neck. I feel like it just ends up pulling the look together. So moving my necklaces out of the way and doing that. Taking a little tiny bit and doing the sides of my nose as well. And that's the finished bronzer. Now I'm going to move on to blush. It is funny how these end up coinciding, but if I were doing powder, I would probably use the Flower Beauty powders. I really like this color in Peach Primrose. Beautiful color. This is also a very pretty color. This is in Flower Pots Warm Hibiscus, sorry. But since I'm not using powder today, I'm using liquid. So I am going to be using the Flower Beauty blush bombs. I'm actually going to be using this color. This is Nectar. Just a little bit goes a long way. So putting that on my palette, tapping it out, and putting it right on my cheeks. I've said it in previous videos, but the Flower Beauty blush bombs are incredible. They were my first and one of my top, still to this day, liquid loves for blush. So highly recommend. And then on to highlight. I'm using the Physicians Formula Butter Highlighter. This is in the color Champagne. It is pretty deep. I've mentioned before, it's a little too deep for me, but because I do have a little bit of a tan, that Soul Body really warmed up my face. I feel okay to wear this, so I just put my finger in, use a teeny tiny bit, and tap it on. It's very golden, but I feel like I'm going for kind of a gold look today, so I think that it will look really nice. So just a little something, but it's there. And that's really it for the face. I was going to put a little bit of powder on, but honestly, like with it being rainy out and kind of damp, I'm going to be walking around outside. I feel like I want to be able to just like tap my under eye clear because the humidity is going to make me sweat under my eyes. I just know it. So next I'm going to prime my eyes. This is the e.l.f. Putty Eye Primer. I also really enjoy this one. I believe this is in the color Rosy. This is the color. It is the closest to my neutral. I think they do have a neutral color, but it didn't quite match me. I'm going to use the Morphe M224 brush. It's just a flat eyeshadow brush to prime. If you can tell, this is actually getting kind of dry in here around the edges, but I really enjoyed it. I put quite a bit of a dent in it. Okay, and then next I am going to do my brow. The first thing I almost always do is take a brow gel. So this is the e.l.f. Wow Brow. I believe this is in like black and brown or dark brown or whatever that color is. Oh, deep brown. It is a fibrous brow gel, so as you can see, there's definitely some fibers. There's a big clump sticking off the back there. So what I do is, because it is dark but my brows are dark, I start at the tail and kind of move upwards, so the most amount of pigment is being deposited at the end of my brows. And then I kind of let that dry. So then I like will move on to my eyes while that's drying and then finish up my brows afterwards. So I'm gonna keep my eyes super simple today. I know, hopefully that's not a disappointment. I've just been on a kick lately where I find that bronzer in my crease looks the best no matter if I have an eyeshadow that looks like a good transition shade. If I'm going to do an eye like I'm going to do today, if that makes sense. It'll all make sense. So I'm gonna put bronzer in my crease. I'm going to take the JH30 brush, favorite crease brush, oh my gosh, I can't speak today. Favorite crease brush ever. And then I'm taking the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. This is actually the light bronzer. I've noticed that this one is like my perfect crease shade. This is like all I've been wearing in my crease recently. But just run it in here to get a nice transition, add a little bit of depth, but not a ton. And then I'm going to run a little bit of that underneath my eye. This is the Morphe E17 brush. Okay, and now we're going to jump back to brows. Sorry, giving you whiplash today, but this is how I do it when I'm not on camera and I just do my makeup. So I'm going to take the e.l.f. brow pencil. This is in deep brown. It's $2, literally $2. I almost use this every single time I do my brows. It is an amazing pencil. This is what it looks like. Mine's pretty nasty. I use it every day. Great brow product. And then I just fill in fill them in. And all I kind of try to do is I kind of filled them in, so now I just give them structure, so outlining. So then they end up looking a bit more like this, then like this. It's just a bit more structured, just the way that I like my brow to be, but doing the same thing on the other side. And then I will brush through the front here just to tone it down a little bit, make it a little less structured right up front. And then here's a step that I do sometimes, not all the time, but I feel like it today. I'm taking the ColourPop brow pencil. This is in black and brown. That's where I got that color name from. It's super, super thin. And then I just actually do the final teeny tip. I just think it makes just the slightest bit, but the greatest of difference. Okay, jumping back to eyes. So I took quite a few different things out that I love just to show you. I love these little bite-sized e.l.f. palettes for your eyes. Wonderful for travel. I've shattered a few of these because it just feels like when you're traveling, something ends up falling out of your bag onto the hotel bathroom floor and just shatters to a million pieces. That's happened to me with these. They're $2 or $3. It was not a big deal, and I wasn't upset about it, but they still have a great formula. The next one is this ColourPop Sweet Talk palette. Still one of my favorite ColourPop palettes. It's so great. I was thinking about using this glitter gold today. I don't think that I'm going to use it out of that. The other one, and I really hope that you could still buy this, I think it was limited edition, but the Flower Beauty Jungle Lights palette, oh my gosh, so beautiful. I'm so upset. This, like, my favorite shade keeps like shattering, so I would show you, but it's gonna fall out of the pan here. But I am going to use this gold shade up here and just kind of put it all over my lid. Those are my favorite types of looks, just like one shadow all over the lid, transition color, some mascara, looks great. So taking that gorgeous gold color and then just kind of diffusing that all over. I think the gold is just so pretty for summer. It makes you look very bronzed, very natural still, but it's still very pretty, I think. I'm cheating here a little bit, but bear with me. So I have 3 drugstore mascaras that I enjoy. The ColourPop mascara is good in all the colors. I love all of their colors. They're so pretty, so nice, so cool, so trendy. I enjoy them. Also, this L'Oreal Paris Luminous mascara I also enjoy. I have it in this like royal blue color. Or I love the L'Oreal Paris Telescopic Carbon Black. The one thing is I love this for my bottom lashes, not my top. I will use this on my bottom lashes. Look at how teeny tiny this wand is. But for my top lashes, I am going to use the mascara that I have open currently. I try not to open a lot of mascaras all at once. Keeps me from purchasing lots of mascaras for no reason. I just have one open at all times. So this one is the only one I have open. It's the Urban Decay Perversion mascara, and I'm just going to finish putting mascara on. This always happens to me. I swear, as every time I'm like, quick, easy, fast, look, I get like a glob of mascara on me, which is so annoying. I kind of like the bare bottom lash, but I am going to use this mascara, so I'm going to put L'Oreal Telescopic on my bottom. Okay, I tried to let it dry. Now we're gonna try to pick it off. This never freaking works for me, but See? I just don't understand. How do people do this? How? How? I'll be right back. Goodness, that's so annoying. So cleaning it up here with a little bit of my concealer. Luckily, we didn't set anything, so it should be a very quick fix here. Okay. So I think all we have left is lips. So I am going to take the LA Girl Perfect Precision Lip Liner in Cafe. Here is the lip liner, actually one of my favorite lip liner formulas. I don't know what LA Girl is doing right, but they're doing something right. See, not intense at all. So nice, so buildable. Love it. And then if you've been to my channel before, you know one of my favorite lipstick formulas is the Revlon Super Lustrous Lip Shine Lipstick. This is what the packaging looks like. I am going to put on Sparkling Honey today in shade 006. This is the color of it. It's like brownie nude. Thought a nice neutral lip would look good with this look. And I was going to put a gloss on, but honestly you don't need a gloss. But the gloss I was going to recommend is this e.l.f. lip lacquer. This is in the shade Bubbles. It's got some sparkles in it. It's super cute. I like it a lot. But this lipstick is so like glossy looking that I feel like I don't need a gloss. So I'm not going to wear one. Very last thing is setting spray. So this is the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Acid Setting Mist. I've had it for a while. I've only used this much. It's not my favorite, but I don't dislike it. I have my fan, but it's not charged and I don't feel like grabbing it, so this is what I'm doing. And that's the finished look, guys. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, like, subscribe, do all of the YouTube things. In the comments, let me know, what are your drugstore staples? What can I sub out for some great drugstore products? What are ones that I haven't tried? I know I gave you a lot of e.l.f. ColourPop Physicians Formula in this video. Those seem to be my favorites. There are a couple brands that like I know are drugstore staples for a lot of people that I've never really touched that much of in my grown makeup years. So yeah, let me know, what are your go-to brands? What brands do you love? What should I try out that I haven't tried? I'd love to hear your thoughts. That is all for me today. Have a great rest of your week and I hope to see you next time. Bye.